Have you ever stopped to think about what truly makes you happy? Is it the new car, the perfect job, or perhaps the love of your life? We often chase after things, thinking they will bring us joy. But what if happiness is something much simpler? Imagine waking up every day feeling content and at peace, regardless of your circumstances. How different would your life be if you could find joy in the little moments? In our busy lives, it's easy to get lost in the chaos, forgetting that happiness is not a destination, but a way of living. Buddhism teaches us that life is precious, and we shouldn't waste our happy moments on trivial matters. This video will explore how to embrace a happier, more fulfilling life by applying Buddhist wisdom to everyday situations. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. Today, we're diving into insights that can transform your outlook on happiness. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more meaningful content just for you. As we embark on this journey together, remember that every moment is an opportunity to choose happiness. Through the teachings of Buddhism, we will discover ways to cultivate joy and live life to the fullest. Whether it's through mindfulness, gratitude, or simply being present, there are countless strategies to embrace happiness. So, stay tuned, because the path to a happier life starts here, and you won't want to miss it. The nature of happiness in Buddhism. Happiness is a concept we all seek, yet it often feels just out of reach. In Buddhism, happiness is not just a fleeting emotion. It is a state of being that comes from within. The teachings remind us that true happiness arises from understanding the nature of our minds and our experiences. It's about finding peace in the present moment, rather than relying on external circumstances to bring us joy. To begin, we need to recognize that happiness is impermanent. Just like clouds passing in the sky, feelings of joy can come and go. A beautiful sunset may fill us with awe, but that feeling fades when the sun sets. Understanding this impermanence helps us appreciate moments of happiness without clinging to them. We learn to savor them when they come, knowing that they will eventually pass. In daily life, we often look for happiness in material possessions, new clothes, fancy gadgets, or even the perfect vacation. However, Buddhism teaches that these things do not bring lasting happiness. They might provide temporary pleasure, but true contentment comes from our inner state. When we rely on external things for our happiness, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead, we must shift our focus inward. The Buddha spoke about the Four Noble Truths, which guide us in understanding suffering and happiness. The first truth is that suffering exists. Life can be challenging, and it's normal to feel sadness or frustration. However, the second truth reminds us that suffering is often caused by our attachments and desires. We cling to things, people, or even outcomes, believing they will bring us happiness. But this attachment leads to suffering. The third noble truth teaches us that it is possible to end this suffering. By letting go of our attachments, we open ourselves to a more profound happiness. This does not mean we stop caring. Rather, it means we learn to appreciate what we have without becoming overly attached to it. The final truth is the path to liberation, known as the Eightfold Path. This path guides us in making choices that lead to a happier life. One of the key elements of this path is right understanding. This means seeing things as they truly are, free from our biases and preconceived notions. When we understand that happiness is a state of mind, we begin to shift our perspective. We learn that we have the power to create our own happiness, regardless of our circumstances. Mindfulness is another crucial aspect of finding happiness. By being present in each moment, we can fully experience life as it unfolds. Instead of worrying about the past or the future, mindfulness encourages us to engage with the here and now. This practice allows us to appreciate the little things: a warm cup of tea, a smile from a friend, or the beauty of nature. Each moment holds the potential for happiness if we are willing to see it. Buddhism also emphasizes compassion, both for ourselves and others. When we cultivate compassion, we create a sense of connection and understanding. This can lead to greater happiness, as we realize we are not alone in our struggles. Supporting others on their journey can bring joy to our own lives, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Moreover, The concept of non-attachment is essential for achieving happiness. Non-attachment doesn't mean we should be indifferent or emotionally distant. Instead, it teaches us to enjoy experiences without clinging to them. For instance, when we spend time with loved ones, we can cherish those moments fully, but we must also understand that they are temporary. By embracing this idea, we can enjoy our relationships without the fear of losing them. Another important lesson from Buddhism is the value of gratitude. When we cultivate gratitude for what we have, we shift our focus from what is lacking in our lives to what is abundant. This practice helps us appreciate our experiences and the people around us. It can be as simple as taking a moment each day to reflect on what we are thankful for. A supportive friend, a beautiful sunrise, or even a lesson learned from a challenging situation. Gratitude opens our hearts and allows happiness to flourish. In the journey toward happiness, it is vital to remember that it is not a destination but a way of living. By integrating these Buddhist teachings into our daily lives, we can cultivate a more profound sense of peace and joy. The path to happiness may not always be easy, but it is a journey worth taking. As we continue to explore the nature of happiness, let us remember that each step we take brings us closer to understanding ourselves and the world around us. Embrace the journey, cherish the moments, and allow happiness to unfold naturally, like the petals of a blooming flower. Through these teachings, we can learn to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace, finding joy in the simplest of things. The beauty of life lies not in the pursuit of happiness, but in the experience of living fully and authentically. Embracing the present moment. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the rush of life. We often find ourselves worrying about the future or regretting the past. But what if the key to true happiness lies in simply being present? Buddhism teaches us that the present moment is where life happens. When we fully embrace now, we open ourselves to joy, peace, and a deeper connection to our experiences. Think about a time when you were truly happy. Maybe it was enjoying a delicious meal, laughing with friends, or watching a beautiful sunset. In those moments, your mind was likely focused on what was happening right then and there. This is the essence of mindfulness, being aware of your surroundings, thoughts, and feelings without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you bring your attention back to the present, allowing you to appreciate life as it unfolds. One simple way to practice being present is through your breath. Take a moment right now to notice your breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling your chest rise. Hold it for a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth. Notice how your body feels with each breath. This practice grounds you in the moment and helps clear away distractions. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, return to your breath. It's a powerful tool that can bring you back to now. Life is filled with distractions. Our phones buzz with notifications, and our minds race with thoughts of what's next. It's easy to miss out on the beauty of the present when we're focused on what's ahead. But Buddhism reminds us that the future is uncertain. We can plan and hope, but we can't control what will happen. Embracing the present means letting go of the need to know what comes next and finding peace in what is. Another way to cultivate presence is through daily activities. When you eat, for instance, take a moment to truly savor your food. Notice the colors, the textures, and the flavors. Eating is not just a necessity. It's an opportunity to engage fully with life. When you wash your hands, feel the water and the soap. Allow yourself to be in that moment, appreciating the simple act of cleanliness. Consider your interactions with others. When you talk to someone, give them your full attention. Put away distractions like your phone and listen genuinely. You'll find that your connections deepen and conversations become more meaningful. Being present with others shows that you value them and what they have to say. It creates a space of trust and openness. Sometimes, embracing the present means facing difficult emotions. It's natural to want to avoid feelings like sadness or anxiety. But Buddhism teaches us that all emotions are valid. Instead of pushing them away, try sitting with them for a moment. Acknowledge what you feel without judgment. By doing this, you allow yourself to process those emotions instead of letting them control you. Life can be unpredictable, and that's part of its beauty. When we accept that we cannot predict or control every outcome, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with uncertainty. Embracing the present means accepting life as it is, not as we wish it to be. This acceptance can lead to a profound sense of peace. A powerful practice in Buddhism is meditation. When you meditate, you train your mind to focus on the present. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Start by focusing on your breath, noticing each inhale and exhale. Thoughts may come and go, and that's okay. Instead of getting frustrated, gently guide your attention back to your breath. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate a more mindful way of living. Another beautiful aspect of being present is gratitude. When we focus on now, we become aware of the many blessings in our lives. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of tea or a friendly smile from a stranger. By acknowledging these small joys, we shift our perspective and appreciate the richness of life. As you embrace the present moment, remember to be gentle with yourself. It's a journey, and it's okay to have days where you struggle. The important thing is to keep trying. Each time you bring your attention back to now, you strengthen your ability to live mindfully. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it may seem. In the grand tapestry of life, the present moment is a thread that connects us all. Each moment is an opportunity to experience joy, love, and connection. By embracing now, we allow ourselves to fully engage with our lives and the world around us. So take a deep breath, let go of your worries, and dive into the beauty of this moment. Life is happening right now, and it's a gift waiting to be unwrapped. Overcoming attachments, the key to inner peace. In our journey through life, we often find ourselves clinging to things, be it possessions, relationships, or even certain ideas. But what if these attachments are the very things that hold us back from true happiness? Buddhism teaches that attachment is the root of suffering. When we become overly attached to anything, we set ourselves up for pain and disappointment. Imagine a child who clings to a favorite toy. When that toy is lost, the child feels devastated. This feeling of loss is similar to what happens when we hold tightly to things in our lives. We may think that having a particular job or being in a certain relationship will bring us lasting joy. But when those things change or fade away, we often feel lost and unhappy. Buddhism encourages us to recognize this cycle of attachment and suffering. Instead of clinging to what we cannot control, we can learn to let go. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we release the need to possess. When we hold on to things lightly, we open ourselves up to new experiences and possibilities. This practice of non-attachment can lead to greater peace and freedom in our lives. One way to cultivate non-attachment is by practicing gratitude. When we appreciate what we have without clinging to it, we can enjoy life more fully. For instance, think about a beautiful sunset. Instead of wanting to capture that moment forever, we can simply enjoy it for what it is, an amazing experience. When we let go of the desire to hold on to it, we can find joy in every sunset, rather than just one. Another aspect of overcoming attachment is understanding that change is a natural part of life. Everything is in a constant state of flux, from our emotions to our relationships and even our material possessions. By embracing the impermanence of life, we can reduce our attachment to outcomes. Instead of fearing change, we can learn to flow with it. Buddhism teaches that every experience is an opportunity for growth. When we face challenges or losses, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? This shift in perspective allows us to see difficulties as valuable lessons rather than sources of suffering. Meditation can also play a vital role in overcoming attachment. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we sit in silence and watch our thoughts come and go, we begin to understand that they are just passing clouds in the vast sky of our mind. This practice helps us realize that we are not our thoughts. We are the observer of those thoughts. As we cultivate this awareness, we can begin to let go of the stories we tell ourselves about what we need to be happy. We start to see that true happiness comes from within, not from external sources. This inner peace is accessible to everyone, regardless of their circumstances. It's important to remember that letting go of attachments is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice. Just like any skill, it requires patience and dedication. We may find ourselves slipping back into old habits of attachment, and that's okay. The key is to notice when this happens and gently guide ourselves back to a place of acceptance and non-attachment. A helpful exercise is to create a letting go ritual. This could involve writing down things you feel attached to on a piece of paper and then releasing them, perhaps by burning the paper or burying it in the ground. This physical act can serve as a powerful reminder of your intention to let go and move forward. As we journey through life, let us remember that happiness is not something we possess, but something we experience. When we free ourselves from the chains of attachment, we open our hearts to the beauty of each moment. Life becomes a flowing river, and we can learn to ride its waves rather than struggle against them. In the end, overcoming attachments is about finding balance. We can love and appreciate the people and things in our lives while still maintaining a sense of freedom. By practicing non-attachment, we cultivate a peaceful mind, allowing us to embrace life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. So, as you move forward, reflect on what you might be holding onto too tightly. What can you let go of to invite more peace and joy into your life? The journey to inner peace is not always easy, but it is one of the most rewarding paths you can take. Embrace this journey with an open heart and watch how your life transforms. The power of mindfulness in everyday life. Mindfulness is a simple yet powerful practice that can change how we experience life. At its core, mindfulness means paying full attention to the present moment. It invites us to observe our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. But how does this practice help us live a happier life? Imagine you are sipping a cup of tea. Instead of rushing through it while scrolling on your phone, you focus entirely on the warmth of the cup, the aroma of the tea, and the flavors dancing on your tongue. This small act of being fully present can turn an ordinary moment into a delightful experience. Mindfulness teaches us to appreciate the little things, making every moment feel richer and more meaningful. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. These thoughts can steal our joy and cloud our happiness. By practicing mindfulness, we can gently bring our attention back to the here and now. When we notice our thoughts drifting, we simply acknowledge them and return to our breath or our surroundings. This practice helps us cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. Mindfulness isn't just for meditation sessions. It can be woven into everything we do. For instance, while washing the dishes, we can focus on the warm water, the texture of the soap, and the sound of the dishes clinking together. This shift in awareness transforms a mundane chore into a moment of tranquility and gratitude. When we engage in daily activities with mindfulness, we start to notice the beauty and richness of life all around us. Furthermore, mindfulness can greatly enhance our relationships. When we practice being present with others, we listen more deeply and respond with compassion. Imagine having a conversation where you are fully engaged, not thinking about your next response or distracted by your phone. This kind of presence fosters genuine connections and deepens our understanding of one another. Practicing mindfulness can also help us manage stress and anxiety. When faced with challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Mindfulness encourages us to pause, take a deep breath, and ground ourselves in the present moment. This simple act can create a sense of space, allowing us to respond to situations with clarity instead of reacting impulsively. By focusing on what we can control in the present, we can alleviate some of the burdens that come from worrying about the future. One powerful tool in mindfulness is the practice of gratitude. When we cultivate a grateful mindset, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have. Each day, we can take a moment to reflect on the things we are thankful for, be it the sun shining, a warm meal, or a kind word from a friend. Gratitude opens our hearts and helps us see the abundance in our lives, even in challenging times. Mindfulness is also about self-compassion. We are often our harshest critics, and this negative self-talk can hinder our happiness. Through mindfulness, we learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. Instead of beating ourselves up over mistakes or imperfections, we acknowledge our feelings and remind ourselves that it's okay to be human. This shift in perspective can foster a greater sense of inner peace and acceptance. Another way to integrate mindfulness into our lives is through mindful movement. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or even a simple walk can become opportunities for mindfulness practice. As we move our bodies, we can focus on our breath and the sensations we experience. This connection between body and mind enhances our overall well-being and brings a sense of balance and harmony. To start cultivating mindfulness, it's essential to create space in our day for intentional practice. This doesn't mean setting aside hours. Even a few minutes can be transformative. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the feeling of the air entering and leaving your body. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath without judgment. Over time, this practice can deepen your sense of mindfulness in everyday life. The beauty of mindfulness is that it is accessible to everyone. No special skills or training are required. We just need the willingness to be present. It's a journey that unfolds over time, offering us the gift of awareness and the ability to fully experience life. In a world that often feels chaotic, mindfulness provides a refuge, a way to reconnect with ourselves and find joy in the present moment. By embracing mindfulness in our daily lives, we open the door to a deeper appreciation of life, enhanced relationships, and a greater sense of peace. Through this practice, we learn that happiness is not something we need to chase. It is right here, waiting for us to notice. Gratitude and compassion, the heart of Buddhist practice. Gratitude is like a gentle breeze that lifts our spirits. It reminds us of the good things in life, even when times are tough. Imagine waking up each day and taking a moment to think about what you are thankful for. It could be as simple as a warm cup of tea, the smile of a loved one, or the beauty of nature outside your window. When we focus on gratitude, we shift our attention from what we lack to what we already have. This change in perspective can make a world of difference in our happiness. In Buddhism, gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice. The more we express gratitude, the more we cultivate joy in our lives. You might start a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things you are thankful for each day. This simple act can help you see the abundance in your life, rather than what is missing. Over time, you'll find that you begin to notice more and more things to appreciate. Now, let's talk about compassion. Compassion is the ability to empathize with others and feel their pain. It's like having a heart that is wide open to the struggles of those around us. When we practice compassion, we not only help others, but also enrich our own lives. Think about a time when someone showed you kindness. How did that make you feel? Compassion creates a bond between us, reminding us that we are all in this together. Buddhism teaches that compassion begins with ourselves. We often judge ourselves harshly, focusing on our mistakes and shortcomings. Instead, we should practice self-compassion. This means treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend. When you make a mistake, instead of being critical, say to yourself, "It's okay. I'm learning." This gentle approach helps build resilience and allows us to grow from our experiences. When we extend our gratitude and compassion to others, we create a ripple effect of positivity. A simple act of kindness, like helping a neighbor or listening to a friend in need, can brighten someone's day. These small gestures can transform not just our lives, but the lives of those around us. Remember, kindness costs nothing, but it means everything. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of community. When we share our gratitude and compassion with others, we strengthen our connections and foster a sense of belonging. Whether it's through volunteering, lending a helping hand, or simply sharing a smile, every action counts. In these moments, we realize that happiness grows when shared with others. You can practice compassion in your daily life by making it a habit to check in with friends and family. Ask them how they are doing and genuinely listen to their responses. Sometimes, all someone needs is to feel heard and understood. When we take the time to be present with others, we deepen our relationships and create a supportive network. Another way to cultivate compassion is through meditation. Loving kindness meditation, or metta, is a practice where we send goodwill and kindness to ourselves and others. You can start by sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. Then, silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe." After a few minutes, extend these wishes to loved ones, acquaintances, and even those you find difficult. This practice can help soften your heart and open you up to more compassion. Incorporating gratitude and compassion into our lives doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start small. You can express gratitude verbally by saying thank you more often. You can also practice compassion by offering a smile or a kind word to a stranger. These simple actions can create a positive ripple effect that spreads joy far beyond yourself. As you continue your journey, remember that gratitude and compassion are intertwined. The more grateful you are, the more compassionate you become, and vice versa. They feed into each other, creating a cycle of positivity that enhances your overall happiness. When you focus on what you have, you open your heart to others, and this opens the door to a happier, more fulfilled life. Ultimately, embracing gratitude and compassion is about shifting our mindset. Instead of seeing the world through a lens of scarcity and lack, we can choose to view it through a lens of abundance and connection. This shift not only transforms our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. By cultivating a heart full of gratitude and compassion, we unlock the true essence of happiness. So, take a moment each day to reflect on what you are grateful for. Allow that feeling to fill you up and spill over into your interactions with others. When you practice compassion, remember that every act of kindness counts, no matter how small. In the grand tapestry of life, each thread of gratitude and compassion we weave helps create a beautiful, interconnected whole. And this is the heart of Buddhist practice, guiding us toward a more joyful and fulfilling existence, breaking free from desires and cravings. In our quest for happiness, we often find ourselves trapped by desires and cravings. These longings can be for material things, relationships, or even experiences. It's important to understand that while wanting is a natural part of being human, letting our desires control us can lead to suffering. Buddhism teaches that true freedom comes when we learn to break free from these chains of craving. Imagine waking up every day feeling at peace with what you have. Instead of constantly wanting more, you can appreciate the beauty of the present moment. This shift in perspective can change everything. It allows you to see the world differently, where happiness is not tied to possessions or achievements, but rather to acceptance and gratitude. Let's explore the concept of impermanence. Everything in life is changing, including our desires. What we crave today may not bring us joy tomorrow. By recognizing this impermanence, we can start to let go of our attachments. When we stop clinging to our desires, we open ourselves up to new experiences and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there things you constantly chase after, thinking they will bring you happiness? Perhaps it's the latest gadget, a bigger house, or validation from others. These cravings can lead to a never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction. The more we get, the more we want. It's like trying to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom. It will never be full. Buddhism encourages us to practice mindfulness, which can help us become aware of our cravings. When a desire arises, take a step back and observe it without judgment. Ask yourself, is this desire truly necessary? Will it bring me lasting happiness? By doing this, we can begin to understand our motivations and make more conscious choices about what we pursue. Another powerful practice is to cultivate contentment. This doesn't mean settling for less. Instead, it's about appreciating what we already have. Think of the simple joys in your life, like a warm cup of tea, the sound of laughter, or a beautiful sunset. When we focus on these small pleasures, we realize that happiness is often found in the ordinary moments. Let's also talk about the difference between healthy desires and unhealthy cravings. It's natural to want things that bring us joy, like spending time with loved ones or pursuing a passion. However, when these desires turn into obsessive cravings, they can cause stress and unhappiness. The key is to maintain balance. Enjoy what you love, but don't let it consume you. One effective way to break free from cravings is to practice generosity. When we give to others, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we can share. This act of kindness not only benefits those around us, but also enriches our own lives. It helps us realize that happiness is not about accumulating things, but about building connections and making a positive impact. Let's not forget the importance of self-reflection. Take time to ask yourself what truly matters to you. Are your desires aligned with your values? Do they contribute to your happiness, or do they lead to stress and anxiety? By reflecting on these questions, you can gain clarity on what to pursue in life. Embracing the teachings of Buddhism allows us to navigate our desires with wisdom. Instead of letting them control us, we can learn to observe and understand them. This process is not easy and takes practice, but it is worth it. As we develop this awareness, we cultivate a sense of inner peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. Remember, breaking free from desires doesn't mean you will never want anything again. It means you will approach your wants with a sense of understanding and balance. You will learn to appreciate life's simple pleasures and find joy in the present moment. In conclusion, breaking free from desires and cravings is a vital step toward a happier life. By recognizing the impermanence of our wants, practicing mindfulness, cultivating contentment, and embracing generosity, we can free ourselves from the chains that hold us back. The journey may be challenging, but with patience and dedication, we can find true happiness that comes from within. Living with purpose, aligning with Buddhist wisdom, life can sometimes feel like a blur, with days blending into one another. But have you ever wondered what gives your life meaning? Finding purpose is essential to a joyful existence, and Buddhism offers beautiful insights into how we can align our actions with our deeper values. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of direction. What if each task you do, no matter how small, is part of a larger picture? In Buddhism, the idea of purpose isn't just about grand achievements. It's about how we live each moment and the intention behind our actions. This approach encourages us to connect our daily activities with our true selves and what we believe in. Finding your purpose often starts with self-reflection. Take a moment to ask yourself, what truly matters to you? Is it kindness, compassion, learning, or helping others? When you identify your core values, you can begin to align your actions with them. This alignment creates a fulfilling life where every step you take feels meaningful. In Buddhist teachings, the concept of right intention is crucial. It encourages individuals to act with positive motives, free from greed, hatred, or ignorance. When your intentions are pure, the energy you put into your actions radiates positivity. For example, if you choose to help someone in need, do it because you genuinely care, not for recognition or reward. This mindset shifts your focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. Another key aspect of living with purpose is understanding the impermanence of life. Everything is changing. Our relationships, our circumstances, and even ourselves. Recognizing this can motivate you to make the most of each moment. When you see life as fleeting, it becomes easier to focus on what's important. You might find yourself investing more time in relationships, pursuing passions, or simply enjoying the beauty around you. Buddhism also teaches us about interconnectedness. Every action you take has a ripple effect on the world. When you live with purpose, your choices not only impact your life but also those around you. This understanding can be incredibly empowering. By choosing kindness and compassion, you contribute to a more positive environment, influencing others to do the same. To cultivate a sense of purpose, consider setting small, achievable goals. These goals don't have to be monumental. They can be simple, like taking time to help a friend or volunteering in your community. Each small act, when aligned with your values, contributes to a greater sense of fulfillment. Celebrate your progress, no matter how minor it may seem. Each step counts. It's also essential to be patient with yourself. Discovering your purpose is a journey, not a destination. Sometimes, you may feel lost or uncertain. This is perfectly normal. Embrace these feelings as part of your growth. Reflect on what you've learned through challenges and use that insight to guide your path forward. Mindfulness can be a powerful tool in this process. By practicing mindfulness, you can become more aware of your thoughts and feelings, helping you better understand what you truly want from life. Regularly check in with yourself. Ask, am I living in alignment with my values? If the answer is no, don't be afraid to make changes. Life is about growth, and adjusting your course is a part of that. Engaging with a community that shares your values can also help you find purpose. Whether through Buddhist groups, volunteer organizations, or local clubs, connecting with like-minded individuals can inspire you to take action and stay committed to your goals. Sharing experiences and supporting each other can be incredibly uplifting. As you explore your purpose, remember that it's okay for it to evolve over time. What brings you joy and fulfillment now may change as you grow and learn. Stay open to new experiences and perspectives. Each phase of life offers unique opportunities for growth and discovery. In essence, living with purpose means taking conscious steps toward creating a life that resonates with who you are at your core. It's about living intentionally, nurturing your values, and contributing positively to the world around you. As you align your actions with your purpose, you'll likely find a deeper sense of happiness and fulfillment. So, take a deep breath and begin this journey with an open heart and mind. Embrace the beauty of each moment and remember that your purpose is not just a destination but a way of living. As you move forward, let the wisdom of Buddhism guide you. And may you find joy in every step of your journey. The role of meditation in sustaining happiness. Meditation is like a gentle breeze on a hot day. It cools the mind and brings a sense of peace that we all crave. In our fast-paced world, taking a moment to pause and breathe can feel like a luxury. But what if I told you that this simple practice is a key to lasting happiness? Through meditation, we can calm the storm of our thoughts and discover the joy that already exists within us. When you sit down to meditate, you enter a sacred space where the chaos of life fades away. Imagine sitting quietly, closing your eyes, and focusing on your breath. With each inhale, you invite calmness, and with each exhale, you release tension. This practice helps you connect with your inner self, allowing you to experience happiness without distractions. Over time, meditation teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment. You learn to recognize that not every thought requires your attention or reaction. This awareness creates a gap between you and your thoughts, making it easier to find peace amidst life's challenges. Meditation also helps you develop mindfulness, which is about being fully present in the moment. When you're mindful, you can savor life's simple pleasures, like the warmth of the sun on your skin or the sound of laughter with friends. You become more aware of the beauty around you, and happiness becomes a natural part of your daily experience. Instead of getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets from the past, you learn to cherish the here and now. Another powerful aspect of meditation is its ability to cultivate compassion. As you meditate, you may start to feel more connected to others. This sense of connection can lead to a deeper understanding of their struggles and joys. When you practice compassion, your heart opens, and you begin to experience a profound happiness that comes from helping others. You realize that true happiness is not just about personal gain, but about sharing joy and kindness with those around you. Consistency is key in meditation. Just like a garden needs regular watering to bloom, your mind needs daily practice to flourish. Even just a few minutes of meditation each day can make a big difference. Start with short sessions, focusing on your breath or repeating a simple phrase. As you build your practice, you'll notice a shift in your perspective. Life's challenges may still arise, but you'll approach them with a calm and balanced mind. It's also important to remember that meditation doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need fancy equipment or a quiet room. You can meditate anywhere, even during a busy day. Try taking a moment to close your eyes and breathe deeply while waiting in line or sitting at your desk. These small moments of mindfulness can accumulate and create a more peaceful and happy life. When you embrace meditation as a part of your daily routine, you start to see the world through a different lens. Colors seem brighter, and sounds become more vibrant. You feel a sense of gratitude for the little things that once went unnoticed. This shift in perception brings happiness that is deep and lasting. Meditation also empowers you to face life's difficulties with grace. When challenges arise, you can step back and observe your feelings without becoming overwhelmed. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can choose a response that aligns with your values and brings you peace. This ability to pause and reflect creates a sense of control over your life, contributing to a deeper sense of happiness. As you journey deeper into meditation, you may also discover your true self. Many people go through life wearing masks, trying to meet expectations or fit in. Meditation helps peel away these layers, revealing your authentic self. When you connect with who you truly are, happiness arises naturally. You stop seeking approval from others and start living in alignment with your values and passions. It's also worth noting that meditation can enhance your relationships. When you approach others with a calm and open heart, your interactions become more meaningful. You listen more attentively and respond with kindness. This creates a ripple effect, spreading happiness not just within yourself, but also to those around you. Strong, positive relationships are a significant source of joy in life, and meditation helps nurture them. In Buddhism, the concept of sangha, or community, is essential. When you meditate, you often feel a sense of belonging. Whether you're meditating alone or in a group, you're part of something larger. This connection to a community of like-minded individuals can amplify your happiness. Sharing experiences and supporting one another on your meditation journey fosters a sense of camaraderie that enhances your overall well-being. Lastly, remember that meditation is a personal journey. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. It's about finding what resonates with you. Experiment with different techniques, whether it's guided meditations, visualization, or simply focusing on your breath. Discover what brings you joy and peace. Allow yourself the freedom to explore and evolve your practice over time. As you embrace meditation, you create a space for happiness to thrive. The more you practice, the more you'll discover the profound impact it has on your life. You'll find that happiness isn't something to chase, it's something to cultivate. With each moment of stillness, you're nurturing the seeds of joy that can bloom in every aspect of your life. In this way, meditation becomes a powerful ally in sustaining your happiness, allowing you to live a richer, more fulfilling life. Facing suffering with a positive mindset. Life is full of challenges. We all face difficulties, big and small. Whether it's losing a job, dealing with a breakup, or facing health issues, suffering is a part of being human. But what if we could change the way we look at these struggles? What if, instead of letting pain bring us down, we could use it to lift us up? In Buddhism, suffering is seen as an inevitable part of life. The First Noble Truth teaches us that suffering exists, but this doesn't mean we have to be miserable. Instead, it's a chance to learn and grow. Think about it. When you face challenges, you often discover strengths you didn't know you had. You learn resilience, patience, and compassion, not just for others, but for yourself too. When something difficult happens, it's easy to get caught up in negative thoughts. We might think, why is this happening to me? Or, I can't handle this. These thoughts can make our suffering feel heavier. But Buddhism teaches us to recognize these thoughts without judgment, acknowledge them, and then let them go. Instead of clinging to negativity, try to see the situation as a teacher. What lessons can you take from it? How can it help you grow? One helpful practice is to embrace the idea of impermanence. Everything in life is temporary, including our suffering. Just as happiness comes and goes, so does pain. This realization can be liberating. When you're in the midst of a tough time, remind yourself that it won't last forever. Embracing impermanence allows you to experience your feelings without being overwhelmed by them. You can feel sad or angry, but you also know that these feelings will pass. Another key aspect of facing suffering is practicing gratitude. It may seem strange to be thankful during difficult times, but focusing on what you have, rather than what you lack, can shift your perspective. Take a moment to think about the things that bring you joy, no matter how small. Maybe it's the support of friends and family, a sunny day, or even a good book. When you consciously acknowledge these positives, it can help balance out the weight of your struggles. Meditation is also a powerful tool for navigating suffering. When you meditate, you create space to observe your thoughts and emotions. Instead of getting lost in them, you learn to watch them like clouds passing in the sky. This practice allows you to step back from your suffering and gain a clearer perspective. You can see that your thoughts are just that, thoughts. They don't have to define you or your reality. Additionally, sharing your feelings with others can be incredibly healing. When you talk about your struggles, you often find that you're not alone. Others have faced similar challenges and can offer support and understanding. In a community, we can remind each other that it's okay to struggle. It's part of being human, and together we can navigate through the pain. Consider the story of a lotus flower. It grows in muddy water, yet it rises above the surface to bloom beautifully. This image is a perfect reminder that even in the darkest of times, beauty can emerge. Just as the lotus thrives in adversity, we too can find strength and resilience in our struggles. When you face challenges, think of the lotus and remember that growth often comes from discomfort. Buddhism teaches that compassion is key when facing suffering. Being compassionate towards yourself is just as important as being kind to others. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when things go wrong. Instead, treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. Speak to yourself with love and understanding. acknowledging that it's okay to feel pain. Furthermore, remember that suffering can inspire action. When we experience pain, it can awaken a desire to make positive changes in our lives. Use your challenges as motivation to explore new paths, learn new skills, or help others who may be going through similar experiences. Your suffering can become a source of strength, empowering you to create a more meaningful life. Finally, let go of the need to control everything. Often, we suffer because we resist change or cling to how things should be. Instead of fighting against the current, learn to go with the flow. Accepting life as it comes allows you to face challenges with grace. Trust that even when things seem bleak, they will eventually shift. This trust in the natural unfolding of life can bring you peace. Facing suffering with a positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring your pain. It's about acknowledging it and choosing to respond with compassion and resilience. By embracing impermanence, practicing gratitude, meditating, sharing with others, and letting go of control, you can transform your suffering into a powerful catalyst for growth. Remember, just like the lotus flower, your struggles can lead to something beautiful. Each challenge is an opportunity to rise above, learn, and bloom in ways you never thought possible. Facing suffering with a positive mindset. As we move through life, suffering is something none of us can escape. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a sudden change in circumstances, or the daily frustrations of things not going as planned, suffering shows up in many forms. But here's the important part. How we respond to suffering can make all the difference in whether it drags us down or becomes a path to inner growth and happiness. In Buddhism, there is a profound teaching. Suffering is part of the human experience, but it's also a key to understanding happiness. Many people believe that happiness is the absence of suffering, but in reality, happiness and suffering are intertwined. We can't have one without the other. The trick, though, is to learn how to face suffering in a way that doesn't destroy our peace of mind but rather strengthens it. And this is where Buddhism offers us a unique approach. Instead of resisting pain, denying it, or letting it overwhelm us, we learn to face it with calm and a positive mindset. We learn to see suffering not as something to avoid, but as something to understand and even grow from. Let's start with something simple. Think about a time when you were disappointed. Maybe you didn't get that job you really wanted, or maybe someone close to you let you down. In those moments, it's easy to spiral into negative thoughts like, "Why is this happening to me?" Or, "Nothing ever goes right in my life." These thoughts only make the suffering worse. But imagine if, instead, you approach the situation with a different mindset. What if you thought, "This is tough, but what can I learn from it?" Or, "This moment won't last forever, and it's helping me become stronger." In Buddhism, this shift in perspective is called right view, one of the core elements of the Noble Eightfold Path. It's about seeing things clearly, not through the lens of fear or frustration, but with wisdom. When we face suffering, we can either let it cloud our view of the world, or we can look at it as an opportunity to practice patience, compassion, and understanding. Every challenge is a chance to grow. Let's take a closer look at one of the key concepts in Buddhism, dukkha, often translated as suffering or dissatisfaction. It's the idea that life, by its very nature, is full of difficulties. But here's the catch. Buddhism doesn't tell us to just accept this and be miserable. Instead, it teaches us to see suffering as a gateway to enlightenment. By understanding suffering, we can break free from it. The Buddha himself said, "I teach one thing and one thing only, suffering and the end of suffering." How do we end suffering? It begins with acceptance. This doesn't mean giving up or being passive. Acceptance means acknowledging the reality of a situation without letting it control our emotions. For example, if you're feeling sad because something didn't go your way, instead of resisting that sadness, you acknowledge it. You say, "Yes, I'm feeling sad right now," but you don't let it define you. You don't get stuck in it. You let it come, and you let it go. Once you've accepted the suffering, the next step is to shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on the negative, ask yourself, how can I turn this into something positive? This is where Buddhist practice can really help. Mindfulness, for instance, is a powerful tool for dealing with difficult emotions. When you're mindful, you're fully present in the moment. You're not caught up in what happened in the past or worried about what might happen in the future. You're here, now, and that helps you deal with whatever suffering comes your way without adding unnecessary drama to it. Another important tool in facing suffering is compassion. Compassion isn't just about feeling sorry for others. It's about understanding that we all suffer, and that suffering is a shared human experience. When you develop compassion, both for yourself and for others, it changes the way you view your own pain. Instead of seeing your suffering as something unique to you, you recognize that it's something everyone goes through. And when you realize that, you stop feeling so isolated or overwhelmed by it. Let's say you're going through a difficult breakup. It's painful, and it feels like your whole world is falling apart. But what if, instead of focusing only on your pain, you took a moment to think about all the people who have gone through the same experience? Millions of people have felt the same heartbreak, and they've survived it. Some have even grown stronger because of it. This shift in perspective can help you see your suffering in a new light. It's not just your suffering, it's part of the human condition, and if others have faced it and moved forward, so can you. One of the most powerful teachings in Buddhism is that suffering is temporary. Just like happiness, suffering doesn't last forever. It comes and goes, like waves in the ocean. When you're in the middle of a tough time, it can feel like the pain will never end. But no emotion, good or bad, lasts forever. By keeping this in mind, you can find peace even in the midst of suffering, knowing that it will pass. Buddhism also teaches us about the importance of letting go. So much of our suffering comes from holding on. Holding on to expectations, desires, or the way we think things should be. When life doesn't meet our expectations, we suffer. But what if we let go of those expectations? What if we accepted life exactly as it is, without needing it to be a certain way to make us happy? This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or goals. It means being flexible, being open to the flow of life, and not clinging to things that are beyond your control. For example, imagine you've been working hard for a promotion, but someone else gets the job instead. You might feel frustrated, disappointed, or even angry. But if you practice letting go, you'll see that your happiness doesn't depend on that promotion. Yes, it would have been nice, but it's not the end of the world. You can still be happy, even without it. By letting go of the attachment to that specific outcome, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Finally, it's important to remember that suffering is a teacher. Every difficult experience you go through has something to teach you. Maybe it's teaching you patience, or maybe it's showing you how to be more compassionate towards others. Maybe it's teaching you how to let go of something that's no longer serving you. Whatever the lesson, if you approach suffering with an open mind and heart, you'll find that it has something valuable to offer. In summary, suffering is not something to fear or avoid. It's an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't have to control us. By facing suffering with a positive mindset, by accepting it, practicing mindfulness, developing compassion, letting go, and seeing it as a teacher, we can transform our pain into a source of strength and wisdom. This is the essence of Buddhist practice, and it's the key to living a truly happy life. Remember, happiness isn't the absence of suffering. It's the ability to find peace and joy, even in the midst of life's challenges. A life well lived, integrating Buddhist principles. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored. Life is short, and happiness is not something we should chase, but something we should live. When you think about it, happiness isn't hiding in some distant future. It's right here, in front of you, waiting to be embraced. The teachings of Buddhism remind us that we already have what we need to live a happy, peaceful, and fulfilled life. The challenge is learning how to recognize it. Now, imagine your life if you applied all the wisdom you've learned throughout this journey. Picture yourself living each day with intention, grounded in the present, free from the constant worry and anxiety that so often consumes us. What would change? How would you feel waking up in the morning, knowing that you no longer need to search for happiness outside of yourself? In Buddhism, the idea is simple. We don't need to add more to our lives to be happy. Instead, we need to remove the clutter, the attachments, and the distractions that keep us from seeing the joy that's already here. Throughout this video, we've talked about many key ideas that can help you live a happier life. One of the most important is mindfulness, being truly present in every moment. It's so easy to let our minds wander to the past or the future, but when we're mindful, We're fully here, right now. In this moment, we can find peace. Whether you're eating a meal, taking a walk, or simply sitting in silence, practicing mindfulness allows you to experience life more deeply. You begin to notice the beauty in the ordinary, the joy in the small things. Another powerful principle we've discussed is letting go of attachments. We often cling to things, possessions, people, ideas, thinking that they'll bring us lasting happiness. But as you've learned, nothing is permanent. The more we attach ourselves to something, the more we set ourselves up for disappointment when it inevitably changes or goes away. Buddhism teaches us to release these attachments and find peace within ourselves. This doesn't mean you stop caring about the people or things in your life, but rather, you learn to appreciate them without becoming dependent on them for your happiness. Gratitude is another cornerstone of living a happy life. When was the last time you paused to appreciate the things you have? It's so easy to focus on what we lack or what we want, but the practice of gratitude shifts our focus to the abundance already in our lives. Whether it's a warm meal, a roof over your head, or the love of a friend, there are countless things to be thankful for. Gratitude helps us see the world in a more positive light, making us feel more content and less anxious. Of course, we also can't forget the importance of compassion. True happiness doesn't come from focusing solely on ourselves. It comes from caring for others and showing kindness to those around us. When we cultivate compassion, we not only make the world a better place, but we also find a deeper sense of fulfillment within ourselves. In Buddhism, compassion is seen as a key to unlocking a peaceful and joyful life. By helping others, you help yourself. As we wrap up, I want to talk about the idea of purpose. Many people feel lost because they don't have a clear sense of direction in their lives. They wake up each day without knowing why they're here or what they're supposed to do. But when you align your life with a purpose, whether it's helping others, learning more about yourself, or simply living in harmony with the world, you create a sense of meaning that goes beyond material success or fleeting pleasures. This purpose gives you strength during tough times and makes the good times even more meaningful. So, what does it all come down to? Living a happy life doesn't require drastic changes or impossible goals. It's about shifting your mindset and practicing the simple, yet profound teachings of Buddhism in your everyday life. Remember to stay present, let go of attachments, practice gratitude, and show compassion to yourself and others. When you do this, you begin to experience life in a whole new way. You start to see that happiness isn't something far away or something that depends on external factors. It's right here, within you, waiting to be realized. This final part of the video is not just an ending. It's a new beginning. The lessons you've learned are tools that you can use for the rest of your life. And the best part? You don't have to be perfect. Buddhism teaches us that life is a journey, and it's okay to take small steps. It's okay to stumble. The important thing is that you're on the path. Every day is an opportunity to practice these teachings and grow a little more into the person you're meant to be. Before we go, I want to thank you for staying with us on this journey. We've talked about how to live a life of meaning, happiness, and peace by integrating Buddhist principles into your daily routine. But this isn't the end. This is where your journey truly begins. Now it's up to you to take what you've learned and apply it in your life. One last thing. If you found value in this video and our channel, we'd appreciate your support. Remember, there are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% of viewers subscribe. So please, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven. Your support allows us to continue creating content that can inspire and guide you in your journey toward a better, happier life. Thank you for being here. As you move forward, remember, happiness is a choice you make every day. Choose wisely, live mindfully, and embrace the joy that's always within your reach. May you live a life that is truly well lived.